Well, the 3,000 metre steeplechase just underway, and it's a very, very steady start indeed. And Great Britain represented by Robert Hough. It's his Great Britain debut. A young man on the front now, along with the German, Mark Osterpaart. He's the fastest European in the world this year, but certainly not at this pace. It's jogging pace at the moment, and someone is going to take on the role. There is the lineup for you. Svenoy, the Norwegian, very useful, and so is Lambrosini, the Italian, now 32, who's bronze medalist in the Olympic Games. He's 3 from the end of the field. It's an absolute jog, this. Robert Hough, Britain's fastest steeplechaser in 1996, but he failed to make the Olympic team. He was 5th in the 3A's championships and lost his chance. We had a good win in Loughborough this year, the season's best. He's also set, Brendan, a personal best in the 1,500 metres. It's there, but this will be a bit difficult for him. There's some real talent in this race.
This is a difficult race for Robert Hough, but he certainly earned his position in this team. He was running well last season. He didn't quite make the Olympic team, and I know he really wanted to. But sometimes these races, when they become tactical and slow like this, are even more difficult than flat-out races, because you don't know quite what to do. He doesn't know. He's got little experience at this level. This certainly is his first senior international, so he doesn't know whether to take the pace on, run as fast as he can, and go for a time. So all around, I sometimes feel that these races are even harder than true run races.
I'd agree with that. Osterdarp, the German, he's had some indifferent runs this season. He was 10th in Hengelo and 8th in Rome, but he has got the Europeans' fastest time, wearing 1:2.66. Hough in second place. In third place is Svenoy. In fourth place is Moran of Spain, and then behind him the Frenchman is there, and so is Pronin, the Russian. And the race just settling down. It's still got, Brendan, to become a race, really.
And I don't think Lambrosini, who's now the Italian captain, he's the only European runner. He's at the back of the field. He's the only European runner who's been able to challenge the Kenyans over the last couple of years. Medals in the European Championships, gold medal in the European Championships, medal in the World Championships, and a medal in the Olympic Games. And he'll be very, very happy that this early pace is nice and slow, because he's a really fast finisher. Just moving up from the back to give himself a run at the water jump, Alessandro Lambrosini. But Robert Hough there, 25 years of age, the Sheffield athlete. This is a good opportunity for him, because the Kenyans aren't around in an event like this. But he's done everything right. He's given himself a view of every hurdle. He's moved out when he's needed to. He's settling in there, and we'll just see the pace of the 1,000 metres. Well, 2:57 for 1,000 metres. That's close to 9-minute pace, and every one of these athletes is capable of running an awful lot faster than that. And the last 1,000 metres, I would imagine, are going to be excessively quick. And Robert, we don't know quite what he's going to do over the last dash, over the last couple of laps, but he's a good 1,500 metre runner, so he might find himself with an opportunity to steal a few points here, because his points are just as important as Jonathan Edwards' points and Steve Backley's points in this team competition.
That's what makes it such a good competition. Hough just settling in, sitting ahead of Svenoy, the Norwegian record holder. But no move yet. Osterdarp happy to be there. And look at Lambrosini sitting at the back. He, remember, won the European title in 1994 in Helsinki, despite falling down on the second lap. And Hough just beginning to take it on just a little bit. The Moran, the Spaniard, 8:25 this season, although times don't mean too much at the moment. They're all starting to develop. Belghazi, the Algerian-born Frenchman, in 5th place. There's the Russian, Pronin, the Russian record holder, who's 5th in the last European Championships. Only made the semi-final of the Olympic Games, though. 4 laps to go. And still very, very steady. And there's a real test in every sense for Robert Hough, because as Brendan Foster was saying earlier, these races are difficult. He's unsure whether to go, whether to stay, or what his tactics are going to be against such talent.
Can I just reinforce that? They're not just difficult, they're almost impossible for a youngster to deal with. But, having said that, he's run a 3:39 1,500 metres, so he's got speed. The trouble is, he doesn't know how much speed the international opposition has.
And there's a difference in hurdling at speed and running a fast water jump when they're going really quickly. Then he's probably had little experience of that, because you don't tend to get races like that in the UK. This is the first international appearance for Robert Hough, but he's not overawed by this circumstance. Every time anybody's moved ahead of him, he's actually moved into a sensible position on the outside and given himself a view of the hurdles. On the inside, he'll look and he'll see Lambruschini, the most experienced of these runners, the class athlete in this field, doing just enough to hold himself in there, and the four of them are now just beginning to pull away, and the pace has just been injected by the Norwegian.
Yeah, good athlete is Jim Spennoy. He holds the Norwegian record. He was 8th in the Olympic final, and he has injected a little bit of pace. The German Ossendorp is still in second place, and Lambruschini now on the inside of the Briton, and well, that will be someone to watch for him. But Lambruschini is so quick. But as we've said, Hough, an unknown quantity at this level in this kind of race on this occasion. But Spennoy is a very quick finisher too. He's a good athlete. The Russian now beginning to show, Pronin. No one really has been tested yet, and they're just sitting there and waiting. It'll be interesting to see who makes the go of it now, and Hough just sitting there in the right place, Brendan. He's not done anything wrong yet.
No, he's done everything right so far. As he comes up, you'll see the 2 laps to go marker, and he's in the same sort of territory when he runs the 1500 metres here, so he's in a good position. The 4 runners now beginning to edge clear, but Robert Hough's going to really have to work hard in these next couple of laps. The time for 2,000 metres is 5:54, so nobody's going to be running any personal best, but I bet the last 1,000 metres is going to be impressively fast, and Lambruschini just behind Robert Hough in 4th place, hasn't made a single move yet. So Spennoy leading, the Olympic finalist from Norway leading there and stretching them down the back straight, and Lambruschini realises that that's happened, and he's gone past Robert Hough in the 3rd place.
And Pronin, the Russian, also goes past Hough, and Hough must latch on to him, must latch on to Pronin. He mustn't let a gap open up there. And Spennoy leads, Lambruschini in 2nd place, Oostendorp in 3rd with Pronin in 4th, and Hough in 5th place at the moment. Then the Spaniard Moran. There's a gap between the Spaniard and then the Greek and the Frenchman. But now it's developing. It really is, and Hough is taking them on, and that's great.
That was very interesting, Robert Hough there. He moved out, he gave himself a view, and he went over the water jump there without touching the barrier. So Robert Hough moving into 3rd place, running very confidently now.
400 metres to go. Lambruschini leads, Hough in 2nd place, and then Spennoy in 3rd. Pronin is there. Then the fastest man in Europe on paper, Oostendorp, the German. And remember, Britain over Germany. We must see what Hough can do here. Hough takes it on. He takes Lambruschini on, and he's making a go of it for 300 metres out. And Lambruschini has now started to move away. He's got to sit in. He's got to settle. 250 metres to go. A little less than that now. Hough in 2nd place. Lambruschini, the very, very talented Italian, is moving away. Spennoy in 3rd. He attacks this barrier this time. About 120 metres to go, and Hough in 2nd place. This is a brilliant run by the Briton if he can hold on to this, if he can dig in and hold on. Pronin, he's done brilliantly well. Oh, and he's Lambruschini, he's taking on Lambruschini, and Hough going to beat Lambruschini, and this is a brilliant performance by a man on his Great Britain debut. Hough wins, Lambruschini 2nd, Pronin 3rd, Spennoy 4th, and Oostendorp 5th. But my goodness, what a performance, and what scalps this man has taken,
And what confidence. Actually, the last 2 times he approached the water barrier and decided not to do anything other than hurdle it, Kenyan style.
Well, he was in such a hurry to try and win the race, David, that he decided he wasn't going to waste any time loitering on the barrier. But what a great performance by Robert Hough. I mean, that is a telling scalp. This man, Lambruschini on the inside, he's the European champion. He's Europe's only contender at the world level so far. The race was slow. It's obviously favoured Robert Hough, but what a performance. He's the name now.
Well, he is, Brendan, because it's the first time that Britain have ever won this event in the European Cup, and it's come from a man who's representing Great Britain for the first time. That was so impressive, and really a young man who's come of age. We've said that several times, but he really did. He wasn't afraid. He ran it absolutely right. It was slow. He developed it, and he beat the very best.
He did. That was the European champion in 2nd place, and the man who got Olympic bronze in Atlanta last year.
Well, Robert Hough, just get a look at that face, because I have a feeling we'll be seeing a bit more of it, because it's not about times this was about competition, and if Britons can perform in a competitive way and win races